Good morning. Happy Monday. Bitcoin broke a new all-time high about an hour ago. That is crazy. Actually, I might have just did it now. 72,000. Insane. Welcome back to The Daily Grind. I'm your host, Chump Change. Just live recorded for anybody that might be new here in the space. What we typically do is go over crypto news in general, check out the market as a whole. I update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's here in the chat, and then we'll get into this. And yeah, I apologize. I scheduled the stream. Apparently my computer didn't automatically change the time, so it said 9:05, but obviously we're here at 8:05 Eastern Standard Time. We do it 8 a.m. every single morning. Let's see who's here. Crypto Frank, good to see you, buddy. My man, appreciate you. We have Andrew Masad, Lawnmower Man, Carl Coat, Mustard Mountain Mining. That is a tongue twister. Good to see you, buddy. Leo Lustig, good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Dan R, Carl Coat. We have Mining Meister. Nice. What's up, buddy? Steven Cicero. Someone in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Black Hat Crypto, Dan R. Everybody else I may have missed, I apologize, but I'm not going to go through everybody. If you guys want to be announced, just tag me in the chat. Gaming with Smokey Dan, my man, appreciate you. I heard you had loose change in bed this morning. Yeah, my kid jumped in and woke up my wife super early, and she saw that Bitcoin was rallying. Look at this, 72,000, 51 bucks. Absolutely insane. Ethereum finally broke $4,000, 4,061. Crazy market we're in right now. LTC's at 95 bucks. Looks like Link is up to $21. We got Rune at $9, up 5.81%. Not too bad. The meme coins look like they're starting to pop off again. Interesting. Solana $150. Look at that, man. ADA 74 cents. Near is up at $7. Let's see, where's Caspa? Where they changed this site? It's like all weird on me. Oh, right here it is. 15 cents, 15 and a half. Not too bad. Still holding pretty steady, actually. Man, everything looks really good. Everything looks extremely good. What is this? Wrap BTC 67,000. Has anybody got this? Weird, strange. Anyways, all right, let's show crypto bubbles on the day. Biggest earner so far looks to be Pyth Network. Look at that, up to 90 cents, 20% on the day. We have Floki up 19.1%. This is a meme coin. We have Theta Network up to $3.56, up 18.3%. Let's see, Near is up 15.8. Nice. Near Protocol, that's ranked 19 now at $7.04. Pepe is up 5.7. Nice. Dog Whiff Hat is down 8.9%. Oof. Big oof. Let's see, I remember when ETH hit 4K and it was like, should I sell? And I kept holding, and then it took a shit and I still didn't sell. Well, you know what, it's a good thing you didn't sell on the way down, because that's the mistake most people make. LTC 6.9% up today at $94. Again, we already went over that. All right, flashbang, check out Fear and Greed Index. Looks like it's 82. Not too bad. It says extreme greed, but I don't know, this time feels different. This doesn't feel it doesn't feel like it's really greedy right now, just because there's a use case for Bitcoin, which is these ETFs, right? ETFs, they need to keep accumulating, and they haven't stopped since they came out. All right, I'm gonna try to enjoy my coffee today. I'm gonna be talking a lot. All right, top 10 coins over here by coin market cap. Over on CoinGecko, we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, Lido staked Ether, XRP, USDC, Cardano, and Dogecoin. Shiba Inu is still holding in 11th place. Crazy. Avalanche is trying to catch up, though. It's at a $17.5 billion market cap. It's so surprising to me that Shiba is still holding $20 billion. That's crazy. Pump it to the moon, please. In Dogecoin, what do you guys think about the Dogecoin millionaire? He actually he never sold his coins, right? When he had like $3 million in Dogecoin, he rode that shit all the way down, and I guess he's back to like 1.5 now. Crazy. I don't know, we'll have to we'll see where that goes, I guess. Hopefully he sells this time and doesn't like just wait, but I mean, I hope he waits till at least I sell, and then he can sell after. He's got a lot more. Litecoin 22nd place over here. We have ETC in 25th. You know what, I just put a buy order in at 35 bucks for ETC. Just a little over 35. I think it was like 35.25 or something. But just in the pure thoughts in my head about the Denkun upgrade, or whatever the hell it's called, Denkun or whatever they call it. Ethereum's gas fees are supposed to be getting dropped. Ethereum's been pumping the ETF narrative coming out. I think Ethereum Classic has a good chance just because of the name and people don't understand the difference. To be honest, this was the original Ethereum, but whatever, we're not going to get into that. It's just it's one of those things where I think it might be a good opportunity. This Ethereum was like 167 bucks or something, if I'm not mistaken. It's all-time high. Yeah, it was 167 all-time high. That's I don't see why it wouldn't have a nice run up on this one again. Every single bull run, it has some sort of run up. 2017, 2021, and then I mean, hey, listen, this, even if it doesn't go that high, even 100 bucks is sick, right? So I don't know, you guys do what you will, but I put an order in. If it hits it, it hits it. If it doesn't, oh well, I already have some, so I'm not really too worried about it. We have Caspa in 42nd place. Pepe actually flipped Caspa. Look at that, $3.8 billion market cap. Man, why why are these meme coins pumping? I don't understand it. It's crazy. Let's see. Carl Code said he is just like a lot of us, holding too long. Oh yeah, the Dogecoin guy. Yeah, he, you know what, I won't be making that mistake again. Let's put it that way, right? A lot of us were in that boat, actually, just kind of, you know, mining things, buying things, and didn't understand, never been in a cycle before. So like now seeing the whole bear cycle, bull cycle, and then another bear cycle, I'm like, yeah, all right. So I kind of know what's going to come this time. So I hope I'm not missing the boat on this one. But anyways, let's check out the mining stuff, see what everything is looking like. You guys know I like to timestamp this stuff. We got the KS5 Pro 21 terahash unit over here, making $191 a day mining Caspa. We have the KS5 20 terahash unit making $182 a day. The BMKS Max 11 terahash unit making $91.17 a day. The Windminer K9 10.3 terahash unit making $89.52 a day. I'm gonna jump down to the Ice River units. KS3 8 terahash unit making 68 bucks. We have the KS3M making $48.60. The X16P Jazz Miner from Jingle Mining, shout out to them, for this thing's making $20.45 a day, I guess, mining ETHW and ZIL. Is anybody still mining ETHW? Any of you guys in the chat? I don't know why. I've never been into it. I don't care. Like when ETH stopped being mineable, I wasn't gonna jump on these like people that couldn't get out of the past and like jump onto these forks or whatever the hell they want to call them, copycats of just whatever. It's just, I don't know, it's stupid. It makes no sense to me. Leo Lustig, what's up, buddy? Chump whiff Under Armour meme sounds cool. You know what, I haven't actually worn Under Armour on this channel in a while. I always wear crypto stuff now. All right, let's see. Ice River KS2 making $16 a day, not too bad. L7 9050, I got mine down at Terra Hosting, shout out to them. $14.04 a day. This is a 10 cents kilowatt hour, so that's what I'll be making after electricity, which is nice. Again, this is mainly mining Dogecoin, but it shows Litecoin here. Let's see, where is the S19K? Right here. S19K Pro 120 terahash unit Bitcoin miner making $7.46 a day. Perfect. That's nice. That's nice to see. This thing was like $3. It was like $3 a couple weeks ago. It's crazy how much Bitcoin has been grinding. Crypto Addict, what's up, buddy? Up and away, dude. It's crazy. It's nuts. Look at this. Look at this. What's gonna happen when the markets open today? We're gonna see like a $75,000 Bitcoin. Is it gonna happen? It's crazy. We're gonna go parabolic. We're actually gonna watch a video in a second and kind of go over that. All right, let's see. Where's the KS1? I probably already passed it. I definitely already passed it already. KS1 making $7.89 a day. Let's see the KS0. Where is that? KS0 Pro 200 gigahash unit making $1.63 a day. Man, we need Caspa to start pumping, because this is it's not bad. I like the fact that it's cheap to run these units. It's still over $1 a day, so it's cool. But at the end of the day, I want it to see it go up. It needs to be over $2. It needs to be over $2. And I meant to hit that button, not the Hadouken button. Anyways, all right, let's get into the GPU, see what the most profitable GPU is. Actually, hold on. You know what? This one, I heard this weekend. Cedera, whatever the hell this AI fork of Caspa is, has actually been more profitable, I guess. Weird. I don't know. Anyways, this coin isn't on mine, the ASIC, yet, so this is according to hashrate.no. But regardless, let's get the GPUs, see what they're looking like today. Nexa. Wow. Nexa's flooding the top of the charts, the 40 series cards. and Pyron. Looks like that's on the top as well. We got Chlor. Also, Chlor's been killing it. Man, it's mainly Chlor and Nexa. All right, you know what? We're gonna look and see. Oh, wrong one. Let's see. What's Chlor at? Chlor's at 35 cents. Let's see. So it hit an all-time. Oh wow, it hit 40 something cents. Nice. 41. What's it say? 41.66 all-time high. Nice. Look at that. It's still kind of, it's making a flag or so, right? Getting there. I wonder if it'll let out a drawdown, but we'll see. We'll see. Not too bad. And then what was the other one? How was it talking about? Nexa. That's right. Does anybody have Nexa? Nexa. Oh my god, look at that. Wow. Why? Weird. 24 hours. It like looks like it moved a lot, but like, I mean it did, but it didn't. Still in the same decimal. Huge bag, says Andrew Masad. You guys got a big bag? Yeah. Still, like, there's too many people with big bags. I think this max supply is too high on this one, to be honest. But look at the market cap. It's really not much in the grand scheme of things. 42 million. It's not too crazy. So hey, you know what? I hope you guys become millionaires. I hope you do. I own 1 million. That's it. I mined it for a day, a single day on 230.90s. That was it when it first came out. I don't even know where the core wallet is. I have to find it. I would have to go find it. But hey, listen, if it's profitable, mine it and swap it into what you would like to get. All right, flashbang again. Over here, new coins on miningpoolstats.stream. Cubics. I don't know if this is I thought this was already a coin. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the wrong name. But anyways, Ghost Rider. I'm assuming this is a CPU mineable coin now. It's out for 4 days. I don't know if you guys are into this or not. I don't know anything about it. Please take it with a grain of salt and be very cautious on downloading new wallets. Like if you scroll down here, it'll typically, where is it? Right here. It'll give you the website and stuff. If you guys are going to go to this stuff, please do your own research and do it on a VM or a separate PC, not yours. That would be a very good idea. But anyways, yeah, this is the new coin of the day, it looks like, or the week rather. Everything else 7 days ago, this Vortexa, whatever this is, and then Q-Link 9 days ago. Not too bad. I don't know what this one is. Nautilus 11 days ago, and then Ursula. We've seen that one before. But anyways, be careful with Cubics. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not jumping on these new coins right now. Right now is like I don't know. I'm gonna let the OGs run the space in this market right now, right? Speculating is done for me. Bear market was the speculating times. Now it's time to like focus on what we actually have at hand on exchanges and coins that have been tried and true. I'm not getting rugged during a bull run, you know what I mean? Anyways, all right, let's get into the news segment of things. We you know what, I'm gonna be checking CNBC in a little bit. I actually, right before we went live, grabbed some videos that just came out like 10 minutes ago, so we're gonna rip through those and I'll see if there's any Bitcoin stuff as we go. But Bitcoin breaches $71,000 for the first time. You guys know it is over 72 as of right now. Absolutely amazing. Let's see. Bitcoin broke a new high of 71,415 3 days after Ether breached the $4,000 mark for the first time since 2021. Absolutely crazy. We have Bitcoin. Let's see. The world's first cryptocurrency rallied over 10% during the past week and 47% during the past month. 47% during the last month. Isn't that crazy? You guys remember that video we watched with that lady? She was like, yeah, it's a slow grind. Like, slow grind. The hell are you smoking, lady?
So is that a joint?
Because that is is not a slow grind. 47% over the past month, according to CoinMarketCap data. The new all-time high comes 3 days after Ethereum breached $4,000 mark for the first time since December 2021. Look at this, crazy. Killing it. Bitcoin hit. Why do they keep saying Bitcoin hits new all-time high? This is so annoying. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. Let's see. Bitcoin's bullish momentum can largely be attributed to increased institutional interests generated by the recently launched spot Bitcoin ETF. Obviously, we know that. Since launch, the ETFs have amassed 4.06 of the current Bitcoin supply, surpassing 56.9 billion in total on-chain holdings. Let's see. According to the data from Dune, at this rate, ETFs are projected to absorb 8.65% of the Bitcoin supply on a yearly basis. Let's see. The spot Bitcoin ETFs amassed a total of 33,000 Bitcoin, $2.3 billion last week, including Grayscale's GBTC fund. which saw over 10,200 BTC in outflows, according to the data from HODL 15 Capital. Damn, they're still taking a beating, huh? That's crazy that they're like losing that much and they're still like keeping their interest rates this high. Digital asset manager Bitwise expects more institutions representing trillions of dollars in assets are preparing to buy into spot Bitcoin ETFs by the end of June, according to March 9th investment reports sent to investors. Meanwhile, Bitcoin whales continue to hold onto their BTC despite the new highs. The number of unique addresses holding at least 1,000 Bitcoin, also known as whales, has risen to 2,107 addresses as of March 9th. Yet this is still lower than the record 2,489 addresses reached in February 2021 when Bitcoin was trading above $46,000. That means we still have a bunch more whales that will most likely be coming into the market. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's still under the 240. That's like $300 people less. A little more than 300 people less. That's crazy. That's a lot of Bitcoin though. A lot of Bitcoin that people are holding, man. This shit is just gonna go absolutely nuts. All right, BTC price blast through 70K. 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. This was 4 hours ago. Bitcoin bulls waste no time attempting BTC price discovery after the highest weekly close in history. Let's see. GBTC should lower their fees, says Carl Coate in the chat. Yeah, they should, but they're just, I don't know. That guy sketches me out. The whole thing's weird. Anyways, Bitcoin begins a new week with a wobble and fresh all-time high. Why did I say wobble? With a wobble and a fresh all-time high as BTC price volatility stays firmly in charge. The largest cryptocurrency has sealed its highest ever weekly close, but bulls continue to face stiff resistance when it comes to breaking higher. As the battle for the price discovery rages, Bitcoin is caught in a familiar state of flux selling pressure at key physiological price levels, combined with the relentless bid from the spot exchange traded funds, which will gain the upper hand this week. Sorry, I don't know why I just got tripped up on that. Few were prepared to scale of influence now coming from the ETFs buying. Even longtime bulls are reevaluating where they think BTC and USDC could be in the coming years, with 1 million increasingly seen as conservative in the long term. Man, I am tripping up and I am going to stop reading that. Anyways, this article, if you guys want to do it, links in the description. I'm done reading. I want to enjoy my coffee. We're going to get into these videos. All right. So over here, Nvidia stock bulls run. Obviously, this is going to be just kind of taking anything that came out a couple minutes ago, about 20 minutes ago or so. This is the first couple videos I actually could see. I want to see if they said anything about Bitcoin real quick before we jump into this. Videos. Let's just check. Nope, I don't think there's anything new yet about Bitcoin. Typically they jump on it, but it takes a minute. So usually while I'm live, videos will come out, but I'll keep an eye on it on the side. All right, Nvidia's stocks bull run. Let's see what they got to say over here on CNBC television. Guys, that like button, appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Nvidia stock is up more than 80% this year alone. Our next guest has a $1,400 price target and a buy rating on the stock, one of the highest on the street. Joining us now with more, Hans Mosesman, Rosenblatt Securities Senior Research Analyst. Hans, great to have you with us. We've been highlighting that 5.5% drop, but what's more concerning is the 10% intraday drop from the record high it hit early in the session to the closing lows on Friday. And I'm wondering, I know this is a technical signal, but does that concern you at all in terms of how it's positioned?
Well, we're a little volatile here as some players are going through the remnants of a down cycle. Last week, Broadcom and Marvell, which are broader-based semiconductor plays, indicated that some parts of the market, the enterprise, on-premise, comms, still weak. Some of these stocks have shot up aggressively, so some profit taking. But I think into the NVIDIA GTC, which is in a couple of weeks, we like the story, and certainly into the year. What do you think is going to be announced there? Well, there's going to be a significant amount of depth, not just on the product side, on the GPU compute side of the equation or acceleration, but also on the software side. I think that that's an element of the story that over time is more important than the hardware, the software stack, the compiler technology, And I think that investors will realize that this is a soft IP play long-term on AI, not just hardware.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what they haven't necessarily communicated too well to investors is this notion that once you buy that GPU for AI, that you're actually also on the hook for the software side of it. And so you're buying into sort of an ecosystem. Do you think Jensen Huang is going to be able to sell that at this event?
Well, he's been selling it for years, and I think it's just starting to move the dial.
Are investors going to buy it at the event?
Why does she like ask him a question and then cut him off immediately?
Well, I think that it's a matter of little by little, and people realize that this is not just, you know, a quick cycle. This is the mother of all cycles. We've been calling it, and they're the tip of the spear. And the software side of the business is one that probably could be about half the business by the end of the decade. So it's huge, and obviously that's all profit coming from royalties, subscriptions, and so on.
See, this whole AI boom thing, right? This is kind of where Bitcoin was years back, right? This is going to be the kickstart of it, and I feel like Nvidia is just going to go absolutely insane. This entire bull run and the ones, you know, coming up in the future.
You mentioned Broadcom and Marvell, and specifically Marvell's sort of disappointment. And I'm wondering, you know, because once upon a time, people would overlook that and say, to your point, that they are broader, you know, semiconductor plays. And so they're not necessarily the NVIDIA story. And yet we had the sort of the contagion felt in the space. Does that signal to you that there may be investor just concern about how far semis broadly have run?
See, so like you guys that are here, you know, a lot of us are crypto miners having GPUs and stuff. It's awesome. We gotta kind of broaden our horizons when it comes to AI and kind of think about what's going to be coming. Like, I know a lot of guys are into the vast AI stuff. I haven't been into that yet personally, but this stuff is going to be the future. All this AI stuff is just it's gonna force these stocks and, you know, Nvidia, AMD, all those companies to like just newer levels that we've never seen before. I mean, just alongside Bitcoin. That's why it's all kind of relevant.
Yeah, I think we got a little ahead of ourselves. There are parts of the business, this cycle is different, that came in waves in terms of how we went down and how they're coming back. So Marvell and Broadcom both got a little Nvidia love, if you will, on the AI side since the beginning of the year. And so it got a little ahead of itself. About half the business is still going through the throes of this down cycle, probably another quarter. So, but I don't look at that as something that's fundamentally wrong. Marvell and Broadcom are doing custom ASICs for hyperscalers, and that's a key area for AI because not everybody can use NVIDIA for their workloads in the data center and in enterprise.
Shout out to CNBC for that. Crypto Frank said, if you're investing into NVIDIA, don't forget about all the companies that make their chips. That's a good point. And then Carl Code says NVIDIA is selling the shovels for AI 1,000%. All right, let's get into this. The broadening out we're seeing is good for the markets. Let's see what these people got to say over here at CNBC television. Guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
Join us now, Stephanie Link, Chief Investment Strategist at Hightower and a CNBC contributor. Stephanie, that number on Friday, good number, but some revisions. The labor force and the way that works put us up to 4.9, which there's a 3.9. It put us up to the highest level we've seen in a while, even though the number was good. So there's all these cross currents, but the bottom line was that the 10-year yield continued to come down a little, and I think tomorrow's number could do more of that if it looks like January was a one-off for inflation.
Yeah, Joe, the data has been pretty good in the last couple of weeks.
What's
I'm
good,
looking at
what's
the
good
3
mean,
month.
Steph? What's good media? See, good we're looking for soft, aren't we, or not?
No, I'm looking for good, Joe. We root for good. We want growth, but we want inflation to come down. And that's exactly what we're getting, actually, right? So just look at the 3-month average for jobs, because Friday's number was wonky with the revisions and whatnot. So you're running at about 265,000 jobs per month. You have average hourly earnings, which are coming down, but they're still good, 4%. That's good for the consumer. Then a couple of weeks ago, we got within GDP, you got consumption consumption up 3%. You have personal income up 4.8%. You have savings at 3.7%. And that all at the same time, you have inflation coming down. So yes, to your point, tomorrow's number is very big, but we are making progress. Core PCE at 2.8 versus 5.6 at the peak. Last week, we had unit labor costs that came in better than expected, about 2.5%. Productivity actually increased. That's also a good sign for inflation. So add it all up, it's good for earnings. And we've been talking about the broadening since last October, Joe, and it's still happening. And Friday was really wild with like tech and semis getting just crushed. And yet energy financials actually have continued to rally. So I like that. It is also worth pointing out the Russell 1000 growth still up 9% year to date, so really good numbers, but the Russell 1000 value is playing catch up. That's now up 5%. That was flat just a couple of weeks ago. So I like the broadening out, and I think that's good.
We're going to see a lot of news coming out today. Obviously, this was at 5:15 a.m. Central, so this is like 25 minutes ago they posted this. So there's going to be a shit ton of news today. We're going to have to go over a lot of it tomorrow, but I'm trying to catch up on everything that's getting posted as it's getting thrown out.
You did indicate that the generals were kind of retreating, though. I mean, is that,
yeah.
You expect that to continue?
Oh wow, so gold's at a record high too. They just said it on this on the screen here, as well as Bitcoin. Neat.
The rank and file will be moving up, but you may not see the same for the previous leadership.
I mean, I think that tech and comm services certainly could take a pause. I mean, look at these charts. They're just parabolic. Not to say that they're not great stories, because they are. There's a lot of great themes with AI and cloud and cybersecurity. I get all that. But they've had their days to shine, and the valuations are a little more rich, and they're very crowded. And so when I look at earnings and I see like financial services earnings grew 7%, industrials earnings grew 6%, healthcare at 8%, that's not too shabby, right? So and so the valuations are actually pretty attractive for those sectors, and so that's kind of where I'm leaning. You and I talked last week, and you kind of were laughing at my picks because I was picking more of the cyclical names when I picked Eaton and Masco and Schwab. I still like those names very much. I think those have a long way to go. And then today I like Target, I like Exxon, I like D.R. Horton. There's a lot to like that is not tech.
Tech that isn't Magnificent Seven. I mean, I was just looking at Adobe's now $250 million, and Oracle is over 300. Yeah. I mean, those are they're underappreciated. Maybe they've continued to do well. They're just not in the Magnificent Seven. Do either of those? They're both reporting this week. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I think Oracle is interesting. They just have inconsistent execution, but the valuation is very attractive. And obviously, they're in the whole cloud arena as well. And I think it'll probably be a pretty good report. Yeah, it has lagged the Mag 7. I think within tech, there's other places as well to own. I've liked IBM forever, and that stock's actually done pretty well, and it's still trading at just 18 times forward. And you do get data center cloud and AI in that. And I like CDW. You and I've talked about that too, because I do think you're seeing, I mean, if you listen to Dell, the PC cycle is bottoming out, and that's pretty attractive as well. So I think there's a lot of, by the way, I like Apple. I know that the stock acts horribly, but I think it's more attractive now ahead of the April print when numbers have already come down, expectations have come down. We all know China is a disaster for them. They're going to fix that eventually. And of course, you've got WWDC in June that comes, and we're going to learn more about their AI strategy. And oh, by the way, I think in the April quarter, you're going to get another 90 billion buyback. So I kind of like that one too.
All right, so let's move on. I just grabbed another clip. We're going to open this one up here. Let's see.
How should we view everything?
All right, real quick. So this one is the technical and fundamental takes on the Magnificent Seven stocks. Let's see what they got to say over here. This was posted about an hour ago as well.
That we're seeing when it comes to NVIDIA and Apple, the momentum trade, has it stalled out or is something else happening? What's your take?
I'll start with NVIDIA. The reality is that in the first 10 weeks of this year, they're up over a staggering 81%. And then on Friday, they were down 5%. And so, the math on that is still pretty darn good. I like NVIDIA. I think it's overbought. I think it's overpriced, but I like it. It's a solid company. And just because it has some of that meme stock velocity doesn't mean that it's actually a company that doesn't have the fundamentals. It's real tech. They have real leadership. And I think that even if some of those bigger funds that have bought in over the last year and a half are locking in their gains, there's still a ton of retail investors who are excited to get into the market, and it's still a good company.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about the fundamentals in a minute. Craig, I'm going to come over to you. I want to get the technical take of what we're seeing. In your mind, when it comes to the momentum trade, the action that we saw on Friday, did that change the narrative when it came to the momentum mega cap tech trade?
You know, Frank, I think it's starting to change. I was just looking at the price action. It was a big outside day on NVIDIA last week. And then if you look at the long-term chart, Frank, this is your classic definition of a parabolic chart, meaning that it's pretty much just going straight up. The stock is up over 679% since the October 22 lows, and over 400% if you look at it from the October 23 lows, Frank. And at this point in time, it's 5 and change percent of the overall index, but it's gone parabolic. People are going to have to do some rebalancing, and as that action happens, you can certainly lose some of the momentum. I think it's a great company, but it's sort of a dangerous stock to be jumping into after moves this large in such a short period of time, Frank.
All right, so you say it's a dangerous stock to jump into, but in your mind, from a technical perspective, how important is it for the rally overall? You were citing some of the technical measures in your notes to us, that there's an area of resistance at the all-time high right now. There was a time when everybody thought Apple was important for the rally. Now, has that switched over to NVIDIA? Can we break past that resistance without NVIDIA participating in a positive way?
You know, this has kind of been a single stock market, Frank. So I think if NVIDIA is not going to participate, this market is due for a correction. And we've been talking about a 5 to 10% correction in this market. And Frank, if we go back and we just look at that long-term...
I'm going to be honest, 5 to 10% is probably... It seems legit. Like, if you look at... I mean, we're not going to look at charts, but just, like, look at how this is all crypto, right? It's at the end of the day, AI and crypto are going to go hand in hand when it comes to this market right now and this whole bull cycle, I feel like. This shit, the scary part here is everything is going up super fast and like almost too fast to be comfortable with, right? Guys, that like button, appreciate you for hanging out.
Chart again, I would just make the observation that you could see NVIDIA correct 30% and still technically be in an uptrend. That's a huge move. I don't think a lot of investors,
that would be a big move,
or institutions or individual investors.
There we go. Look at that right there. There's I mean, there's obviously it's not like any type of technical chart, but you can see it's just been going crazy. It kind of plateaued and then it's just boom right up.
Are going to have patience for a 30% correction in a momentum stock.
It's a lot.
And that's where I think it becomes dangerous.
All right, so just for
the faster it goes up, the faster it falls, right?
Clarity for the audience, you say resistance at the all-time high of 51.57. We got to remember that the S&P and the Nasdaq, they briefly hit intraday highs before closing lower, and that was with NVIDIA having a pretty tough day. Sarah, I'm going to come back over to you.
No, Shakespeare, don't short everything. Get out of here. Like DJ says, I hope you lose all your money. I'm kidding. There's plenty of money to be made. I don't think shorting's a good idea right now. I think, man, we can get into that at the end.
Let's talk about the fundamentals of Apple. In your notes to us, you said the weakness in China, it is an issue. It's certainly hitting revenues, but it's not the end-all, be-all. But China's still about 20% of revenue overall. So give us a sense. How can we see Apple move higher without growth in China and just consistent revenue in China?
I think they're going to have to find other markets. You know, the reality is that in China, there's government pressure to not bring your Apple device to work, increasingly both in the private and public sector. And that means that people are getting different devices. And so, you know, I think that is a market that it's not been easy in China for most big tech companies, right? We forget here that Facebook is banned in China and Uber failed there, and Google is basically banned there, and these companies are doing okay without China. You just sort of have to decide: are you going to accept the headwinds there and build elsewhere? And we've seen Tim Cook spend a lot of time in India. I was a little surprised we didn't see any cameos of him at the recent Abami wedding, but we are seeing him make a real effort there, because in India, they're still in single-digit market share penetration. There's a huge, middle class there as well to really lean into. And so I think we're going to see more of that stuff.
All right. So At the same time, you do admit, I mean, NVIDIA's overbought. RSI is well over 70 right now. I was just looking on the CNBC stock screener tool. Does that matter when it comes to this company? I mean, it does matter a lot of times when it comes to stocks, but this one, they just have something that they have a big moat on and everybody needs.
Yeah, I think that, NVIDIA, they are still making chips that people need. Other of their peers in the Magnificent Seven make up, a huge amount of their revenue, double digits of their revenue every year. These are solid customers that aren't going away. I don't think that NVIDIA will have this lead over AI chips forever. There are a lot of competitors catching up, and we're
real quick. Thank you for becoming a member, Mr. Nismo Miner. Let me open the chat. Sorry, I wasn't looking. DJ Mines in the house. Everyone scream CCXD #1 price go up. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for being a member for a month.
Seeing them
You're
pop
awesome.
up, but at the same time, it's a solid company, and so I don't think that they're going to go away. The question is how many people who've been buying in at this insane sort of ramp up over the last year were buying into a solid company that wouldn't go away versus something that they hoped would be sort of a forever up and to the right stock. And I think that gap, that perception gap, is going to be really sort of what drives or doesn't drive the stock price over the next year.
All right, Craig, I'm going to give you the last word. Give us the technical look at both NVIDIA and Apple. Based on the technicals, which direction do you see both going?
Well, Frank, I see both of these stocks continuing to correct, and I think that the Mag 7 has become, the Fantastic Four and ultimately the dynamic duo. But right now, in terms of what we see with Apple, we're seeing weakness and relative strength. We're seeing it sort of a shorter-term double top. Frank, I see another 5 to 8% downside in Apple over the near term. And then in terms of NVIDIA, it's a parabolic chart. It's really hard to continue to keep buying the stock in here. And if it was just to correct back to the long-term uptrend, Frank, this could be a 30% correction in NVIDIA. And I'm not sure a lot of people want to hear it, but that's just the reality of what the charts look like.
Shout out to CNBC television for that. All right, we're going to move on. This is only 3 minutes long. I guess we'll go into this. Sam Altman returns to OpenAI's board. Let's see what's going on over here.
Welcome back to Squawk Box. OpenAI's internal investigation into the ouster of Sam Altman's now concluded. Altman's rejoined the board of the company as well. And Steve Kovac's at the table this morning to tell us all about the soap opera, the saga that was, and what we learned or maybe what we didn't learn.
Yeah, a lot that we didn't learn. We'll get to that in a minute. But yes, Sam Altman is back on the board, plus 3 new board members. That's the big headlines there. And a summary of the investigation by an outside law firm. Well, they found Altman did not do anything last year to justify that original firing. First, the new board members, Sue Desmond-Hellmann. She's the former CEO of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Nicole Seligman, former general counsel at Sony. And Fiji Simo. She's, of course, the CEO of Instacart and a former Facebook executive. And the 3 current board members, they're sticking around too. Former Salesforce executive Brett Taylor, he's still the chairman, along with Larry Summers, and Adam D'Angelo, he's the CEO of Quora. Now, as for that investigation into Altman's firing, that came from law firm Wilmer Hale. It's really light on details, but here's what they are saying. And of course, that big one. Altman's behavior did not justify his firing by that previous board. They're also going to adopt a new corporate governance guidelines, but right now, unclear if that means they're going to nix the nonprofit structure or what.
Mr. Shea Mining, thank you for the $10 Ron super chat. I just wanted to see DJ Mine scream. There it is. Bitcoin is killing it right now. Sorry to break things up, but Bitcoin is $72,391. Clap for Bitcoin. Killing it, guys. Absolutely killing it. Let's, where the hell were we? Let's continue.
What exactly that even means. Also, some information on the events leading up to the firing of Altman, which said the prior board had the authority to fire him and believed it would help with, quote, internal management challenges by doing so. But, like I said, found the board did not realize the massive disruption to the company the firing would cause. There's the understatement of the year. Said the firing had nothing to do with AI safety, the company's finances, statements to investors, things like that. We found out a couple weeks ago the SEC was looking into that as well. Basically found it was a breakdown in the relationship between Altman and the old board. Still very light on details, like I've been saying. The New York Times, though, reported last week OpenAI's CTO, Mira Murati, she told the board she was concerned about some of Altman's management style before the board fired him. Now, the board drama...
Is he going to turn into like the next Elon Musk where people are just continuously throwing shade at him? What do you guys think? Put your opinions in the chat.
Appears to be over for now, but still plenty of questions remain about the governance, what exactly happened that made the board think that they needed to fire him, and so forth.
Okay, so
I feel like that's what's
how important do you
happening.
think it is for the public, from a trust perspective, to understand this, or is this just
So for anybody that might just be joining, more or less, this is there's a lot of AI news this morning. Obviously, crypto and AI are going to be going hand in hand this cycle, at least in my opinion. So just stay on top of it all.
Journalista and others who are curious about what happened?
It's hard for me. It's just the journalista curiousness of it
Right.
all. I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, in the long run. But in the short run, there's this. The narrative got away from the board and the original board, that is. And they're all. Remember that when the news first broke, there were all these kind of signs that he was going too fast and developing AI too quickly. There are some things about his management style. There are all these rumors flying around. Those are going to remain until they come out and say specifically what happened. And if they're okay with those conversations happening, it seems like they are, that's just going to continue. What's really interesting is the governance stuff. We talk about this so much. What exactly does that mean? Are they going to change the entire structure of the organization or what?
And I know we got to go because they're playing the music. Ilya, who's probably one of the most important people inside this company, doesn't seem to
not mention it all in any.
And no one seems to know if he's staying, going, what's happening.
There are talks, he's in conversations about staying. His name is on something.
But that seems very significant. That actually seems maybe more significant than all of the others.
His role in all of it too, because he was allegedly at the center of a lot of the complaints on Altman, and who knows what his role is right now. He's like a ghost employee almost.
This music is awful. Like, why they do that? Anyways, shout out to them. All right, real quick, it's gonna be a flashbang, I think. Pretty bright screen. All right, look at this. BlackRock now holds 196,065 Bitcoin, surpassing MicroStrategy's holdings. How crazy is that? Insane. BlackRock is gonna rule the world when it comes to Bitcoin, at least in my opinion. All right, guys, this was a video yesterday from Mr. Team Underground. He is a very, very decent, or I would say excellent trader, but his videos are very good when he explains stuff. So let's get into this. Get ready for this Bitcoin God candle, which is crazy that he said 21 hours ago. And look at this. We're having the all-time high. Let's get into it.
All right, you can say right now that pretty much Bitcoin has broken the all-time high. And I think Bitcoin is going to go somewhere absolutely insane. And guess what? I actually predicted that this whole bull market was actually going to start all the way here in this tweet. And as well, this tweet that I posted here back in 2022 is exactly telling where Bitcoin is right now going to go. Again, I'm going to blow your mind. If you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe. Again, we have predicted...
I have a link to his channel down in the description below if anybody's interested.
The exact bottom of the bear market here, and we did that about 1.5 years ago. That's quite a long time ago right now, but you can see I basically predicted the entire bottom of the bear market, as well went into a massive long position, which I sadly closed because I moved to a different country. But at that point in time, I went all in on Bitcoin. And again, these tweets over here, as you can see, bear market bottom, I'm long, may the bull market begin. This was at January 6th, a famous tweet here. I mean, as I can say it here myself, I mean, it's just absolutely insane how Bitcoin performed right after that exact tweet. We basically went up.
Oh, real quick, Ted in the chat said, no, they don't. Sailor bought another 12,000 reported by him 45 minutes ago. Did he really? Just probably to beat BlackRock, but that'll change again. As soon as the markets open up, I'm sure they'll be buying more.
Right over here from the exact bottom from about like 16K, and now we're at 70K. Just an insane gain, and we've of course documented this entire journey. I've been here making YouTube videos here for a very, very long time, and I'm excited.
So when he recorded this, he was at 69.7. We're at 72,000 as of right now. 72,276. Crazy.
For this bull market to really officially start right now, because, well, generally speaking, when you break the all-time high, that's when the bull market generally starts. Now, this right over here is going to be my third cycle. So I've been in this space for quite a long time, but I think that this cycle is going to blow people's minds. And that's the point that I'm making this video, is that I think a lot of people don't really understand how significant it is for Bitcoin to break the all-time high so soon. And I personally did not expect it. Now, I haven't sold any Bitcoin. Don't worry about me. I bought a bunch of Bitcoin. I really can't buy any more Bitcoin at this point in time. But still, I did not expect it. I expected that Bitcoin was going to eventually break it towards the all-time high, probably around the end of the year, but that it would do it so soon is just absolutely insane. And it seems like people haven't really gotten used to the fact that Bitcoin isn't trading this at this level, which is just insane to think about, which means that Bitcoin isn't going, it's at this point in time not going any lower, and it's probably going to go much, much higher. If I look at the views right now, the views aren't even that high. I mean, they're pretty much the same as when Bitcoin was trading right over here, which means that this is probably all institutional money. The retailers, they haven't really bought Bitcoin yet. The real hype hasn't even started yet for Bitcoin and the whole crypto market in general. And that is
Isn't that crazy to think about, that the hype honestly really hasn't started yet? I mean, he's not wrong. He's really not wrong. It really has not started yet. There's still people like Crypto Frank said it earlier. He's like, go into Home Depot and ask like just random people if they know how to buy Bitcoin. They're probably not even going to know what it is still to this day. A lot of people still don't even know what Bitcoin is.
I'm so extremely excited here for Bitcoin. I mean, back over here, Elon Musk was buying Bitcoin, El Salvador was buying Bitcoin, Michael Saylor, everything was going crazy, everything was Bitcoin. You turn on the news, there would be Bitcoin. Now it's actually that quiet. At that point in time, my videos got like 15K, 20K views, and now they only get 5K views. So it means that we still have a very big journey here to go. Now, if you invest in the altcoins, I think generally speaking, if you invest in the altcoins, I don't think they're going to see an alt season yet. I mean, some meme coins, stuff like that are popping up. But I think Bitcoin is first going to rally here probably to 100,000, and then eventually we're going to see the altcoins popping off. Now, the thing is at this point in time, Bitcoin is going to go to $100,000, and I think the retailers are going to be a little bit more interested into actually investing in altcoins, which I may actually talk a little bit about it. Not that I personally really invest in them, but I still think it's going to be quite important really to talk about, because especially what I saw here last cycle is a lot of bad education, a lot of people that did not really understand the altcoin scene, did not really understand what cryptocurrencies were about. So I might shift a little bit in that as well here in the future. Now, diving here into the short-term analysis is, well, it doesn't really matter, guys. We are pretty much breaking the all-time high at this point in time. We're just going
again, this was yesterday. I haven't watched this video yet, so I don't know what comes through this, but he ends up, I mean, obviously we're talking about what, 69,000 as of right now, and we're at 72 this morning. So
a little bit sideways. There's some sell walls. Oh god, they're trying to push the Bitcoin price down. You know, maybe we're still going to have some kind of a small correction. But
you know what? Actually, I'm wondering. You know that guy? Who was it that moved? Somebody moved a whole bunch of Bitcoin out of like an old ass wallet that was like 10 years old or something last week, and that like contributed to the dump. I wonder if that person bought back in.
This is pretty much just going to pop off to the upside, and this is going to have one big move here, one big stick, candle, whatever. It's going to go to the upside. We're probably going to see like 70k here next week, or at least probably this month we're going to see 70, 80k, and after that, I mean, it can go to some insane levels. I think that this cycle is going to be more insane than all the other cycles, because again, we've broken the all-time high here so quickly. We haven't even had the halving yet, and we've already broken all-time high. And I think $100,000 isn't even going to be remotely where Bitcoin is going to stop. This thing is going to probably fly to 200,000 and beyond that, $300,000, which means that right now.
Wow, he's calling for 200, 300,000. That's crazy. I think we might see a just absolute moonshot close to 100 before the halving. If it continues on this route, we might see 80 at the end of this week.
I think there's still a lot to go for Bitcoin. And again, looking at the hype right now, not a lot of people are interested, not a lot of people are buying. This is going to be my third cycle, and I very much well understand that with this sentiment, with this price action, everything is lining up for this to be an insane super cycle. So a lot of people are right now looking at.
What do you guys think? Super cycle this time? I think so, for sure. The only scary thing is the faster it goes up, faster it falls, right? Well, the faster it goes up, the harder it falls. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a lot of people wiped out at some point. Like the big guys are just going to come in, flood it, and dump it like a sharp spike just to get people out and scare the shit out of everybody.
At the short-term analysis, like, ooh, look at the funding rate. Guys, this is going to pop off here any moment right now to the upside. Don't worry about that. Again,
but yeah, the supply shock is a big thing. Supply shock is, there's only so much to go around, man. Man, there's a chart. I don't even know where to find it. If anybody has it, I'll look it up in a second, but throw it in the chat if any of my mods have it. There's like a chart where the BlackRock, the amount of Bitcoin BlackRock's been buying is just absolutely insane compared to the daily amount like allotted, you know, with Bitcoin. Just it's like 900 a day, and then what's on the exchanges, like they're literally buying everything up.
This whole freaking rally exactly on the day. Again, follow me on Twitter if you haven't yet. Follow me on YouTube if you haven't yet. I'm going to be excited to again document everything here. Now, the reason, if you're wondering why did you expect Bitcoin to bottom at that point in time? Well, first of all, we had the FTX drama, and I didn't really think that Bitcoin should have dumped on that at all, because it wasn't really related that much to Bitcoin. We went sideways because this large double bottom pattern, start of a new year. We had extremely good funding rate, very positive for potential bullish scenario. And well, we already got the 80% correction, and generally speaking, from that position, we would see significant move to the upside. Didn't look that anything was going to push Bitcoin lower, and we just had the momentum. The only thing we needed, a little bit of momentum, and that kick-started. We played out this double bottom beautifully to the upside, and then it just rallied to the point where we are at this point in time. It's really not that difficult, to be honest. Now, We're seeing that BlackRock is right now into Bitcoin. He's talking very positively about Bitcoin. BlackRock again, largest hedge fund in the world. So this is extremely bullish for Bitcoin. They're all just talking about Bitcoin all the time. People don't really realize how much money is going to come into this space. I mean, we have BlackRock right now here in the space, and we haven't even had countries. We haven't even had countries or other rich people which have publicly come out that invest in Bitcoin. Of course, we have Tim Cook, and I think Zuckerberg probably also holds some Bitcoin. Elon Musk holds some Bitcoin. But again, it's probably just going to be a small part of their portfolio. And I think that there's going to be a huge rush for people to flow into to go into Bitcoin, because we have the Federal Reserve, which has already said they're going to lower interest rates. Inflation is going up, and the government's probably going to start putting money to fund the deficit. And this is going to be some fireworks that you can't even believe. Now, if you think that, well, it doesn't really matter, BlackRock, who are those guys? I don't really care. We have Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor's going to buy all the Bitcoin, right? Well, it seems like BlackRock has already outperformed here Michael's strategy so quickly just after these ETF launched. Only 40 trading days, and BlackRock already holds more Bitcoin than Michael Saylor. Everybody focus on Michael Saylor, but this guy is going to be the big chat. He's going to be the new Michael Saylor, and they are investing everything that they possibly can into this asset. And that's exactly the reason why nobody's still watching this channel, and people are watching some other channels. I think this channel eventually is going to pop off. It's going to go back here to normally to the views, but the reason why right now the views aren't really that up is that all of this buying power is done by BlackRock and institutionals. It has nothing to do with retail investors. They're all going to come here after this is going to push like beyond $80,000 US. Trust me on that. So you're still relatively quote unquote early. But anyway, well, the other person which is making some money right now is El Salvador. This is going to be very positive. Now, the thing is, people are saying like, El Salvador doesn't really matter. It's a small country. They're buying Bitcoin. Yeah, who cares about El Salvador? And that's absolutely right. Like, the El Salvador government is not going to have a big impact here on the Bitcoin price. They just don't have enough money. Now, the thing what is very interesting is that if the experiment, however, works in El Salvador, you probably have some rich oil countries which have a bunch of, sitting on a bunch of cash, probably invest into something. If the El Salvador experiment works, they're going to as well invest into Bitcoin, which is already, I'm going back here to what I said earlier in the video, is we have BlackRock investing right now into Bitcoin, but we haven't even had the countries invest in Bitcoin. And the thing is, BlackRock is very big, biggest hedge fund in the world, but it's again nothing compared to countries. They pretty much have a limited spending power because they can literally print money, or they can print oil or resources. So you haven't even seen anything yet. I mean, this whole thing, again, the El Salvador, it's great. It's great that El Salvador makes some money on Bitcoin. It doesn't have that significant impact on the Bitcoin price. But other countries seeing that this succeeds and this works, they are going to have a big impact here on the price. So the last thing I want to talk about is this tweet here. It's got nice little painting tweet from this guy, Nareal Ruby.
Real quick, so this is the site. Thank you, Fully Electric, by the way, for putting in the chat. I don't know why I continuously forget what the name of the site is. This is it's coinglass.com, and it shows a whole bunch of information on this, right? But is this how you read this? Like, is this how much Bitcoin was brought in, I assume? Total Bitcoin spot ETF net inflows, BTC. So obviously it gives you the dates, right? This was Friday the 3rd. What was it? 5.03 thousand. So yeah, and then the USD volume is $336 million. Damn. Like, it shows you everything on this site, so you guys can kind of go through this and just check everything. You can check all the exchanges, like how much Bitcoin, I assume, is on the exchange. I don't know. I have to kind of rip through this. I really need to start understanding this entire site, but it shows you all the information, the volume in the last whatever. Is this 24 hours? How does this go, actually? What's the time frame? Just volume in general? Weird. Yeah, I don't know. You guys go check it out. Coinglass.com is the this actual site.
Beanie, I think he is some famous person, which I do not pay any attention to, but he basically said here, in 2018, Bitcoin is down 80%, the crypto bubble has bursted, I will take a break from Twitter, this is a waste of time, waste of time to convince zealots. Again, this is the tweet here from this person back in 2018 when Bitcoin was at $3,000 US. So this is a good reminder again, guys, when Bitcoin was at 16K.
Somebody framed this picture. That's so funny.
We said That's Bitcoin great. Is dead. FTX has destroyed Bitcoin. We had this guy on Joe Rogan saying that Bitcoin is going to go to zero, and every single cycle is the same thing. Now, the opposite, however, is going to happen at the top. When Bitcoin is going to move to the top, $200,000, $300,000 US Bitcoin, people are going to say this is the world reserve currency. So understand that people get extremely bullish at the tops and extremely bearish at the bottoms. At this point in time, I'm not seeing people being extremely bullish. I'm not seeing anything crazy, but be warned, because right now we're going to have to focus on the extreme bullish side of the scenario of the cycle, because that's where we're going. We're going to the moon, pretty much we're going to the moon. But we have to focus right now on people going absolutely crazy about Bitcoin, people saying Bitcoin is going to take over the world. At that point in time, is probably going to mean that Bitcoin is going to top out. But until then, guys, I mean, I can say whatever.
That's a good point. When people sit there and keep talking, like saying like, oh, it's going to go higher, it's going to go higher. And you hear like, you know, again, your Uber driver or like the guy down the street, the mailman starts talking about it. Like, that's the time, like, shit, get out. Because you're early right now. You're not going to be early then. Do you know what I mean? Shout out to Team Underground. He's a good trader, good charter. I like to watch his videos just whenever he posts one. Let's see what Mr. Lark Davis over here has to say. Too late to buy crypto altcoins, guys. That like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it again. I got a link in the description for his videos and channel if you're interested.
Is it too late to get into crypto? Is it too late to buy? No, it's not. And I want to show you exactly why in this video, using charts, using evidence. And to be clear, we're talking about crypto altcoins here, kind of not Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's probably not going to give you even a 5x necessarily from the present price in this cycle. Long term, yeah, going to $1 million. But altcoins, there is hope of crazy gains, 10x, 20x, 50x, and yes, probably even a few hundred X's out there. But that window to accumulate the hot coins is closing and is not going to last for much longer. To be clear, altcoins have already made some really insane gains for investors, but the big move is still coming. So let's start this analysis by talking about Bitcoin. Unknown to many, after a Bitcoin parabolic move, altcoins usually make face-melting price movements.
So after Bitcoin runs, that's when the altcoin season happens. Shout out to Mr. Rude Puts in the chat. Thank you for the 249 super chat and making DJ scream. Yes, take over the world to the moon, bull run. Appreciate you, buddy. Real quick, let's see what's Bitcoin at right now. Bitcoin's at 72,299. Jesus, that is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Did I just X out the video we were watching? Oh, I just X'd out the video we were watching. Damn it. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. Oh, man. Also, Fully Electric in the chat actually just said something I was going to read. And
to get into crypto,
now I gotta catch up where we were. Where were we?
Last for much longer. To be clear, altcoins have already made some out there.
There we go. All right, let's let me read what Fully Electric said, and then we'll continue this. Apologize, guys. I didn't mean to X that out. CCXD early bull run because of the ETF. I also feel the end of the bull run, the drop may not be as bad as the previous end of the bull run. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see something similar like when we saw, you know, 69K down to, what was it, 15 we hit? That was like 80% drop. I don't think we'll see that again. But I think it's inevitably going to come down, right? It's going to happen. There's going to be sell pressure at some point, but I don't think it's going to be that drastic because of the ETFs. With Ethereum, though, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? If the ETF does come to fruition, are we going to get slammed down when the price goes up, or do you think it's going to stay relatively like pull back about as much as Bitcoin will? Let me know in the chat. What do you think about that?
Easy gains, 10x, 20x, 50x, and yes, probably even a few hundred X's out there. But that window to accumulate the hot coins is closing and is not going to last for much longer. To be clear, altcoins have already made some really insane gains for investors, but the big move is still coming. So,
oh, and you know what? Wow said, will Coinbase crash again this morning after everyone wakes up? You know what? That's a good question. And we talked about this on Saturday Night Live, and I talked about it last Friday, actually, or Saturday morning when we were live. The thing that Coinbase is being sketchy, and I don't know what it is, but I don't know if they're just satisfying the ETF buyers first, and they're kind of just halting it to the little guys, or if they really are having issues with the actual exchange and the overabundance of stuff. But like, I don't know, for them to have this happen 2-3 times, like if it happens a 4th time today, then I don't know. I can't trust it, right? So I wouldn't say these swap insights, I actually talked about it. So Tangent, I have it pinned in the live chat. And again, I'm not trying to shill anything. I use it every single day. The swap feature inside that wallet makes it so simple and so nice to use without having to worry about Coinbase, because I'm assuming those swapping sites actually use a few different exchanges and they just sell where they can. for a little bit bigger of a fee to be able to do it instantly, I'm like, dude, all day I'll do that. It cost me $5 to swap $1,000 in USDT into Caspa the other day with that swapping thing on the Tangent wallet. It was freaking unbelievable. I'm like, why wouldn't I just hold all my Bitcoin here? I don't have to paste any addresses. I could just swap it. It already has my Bitcoin address in the wallet. It's like, oh my God, but you can't swap for all coins. So that's all the coins are not available, but a lot of coins are. So just keep that in mind.
Let's start this analysis by talking about Bitcoin. Unknown to many, after a Bitcoin parabolic move, altcoins usually make face-melting price movements to the upside. If you've been in crypto markets for at least one cycle anyway, you probably know that altcoin season, when it happens, gives you the best returns. Despite how exciting watching the Bitcoin moves are, you'll make more money off altcoins. And there's multiple mini seasons and all that stuff within it. And look, I've got my Bitcoin bag on lockdown, okay? And I have no intention of buying more at these prices unless we get some kind of wild, crazy retrace that's go, oh yeah, that's a great price, buy some more Bitcoin at. But altcoins, ooh, sweet altcoins. That is where I'm expecting to get huge returns, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x kind of stuff, depending on the coin. And I'm still deploying capital even now into mid and low cap altcoins into private sales. Often, though, we see Bitcoin move first and draw liquidity into the market, and then altcoins move afterwards after we see huge amounts of wealth created from Bitcoin. This works in many cycles within the bigger cycle of Bitcoin making a big move. So you can see Bitcoin pump 10, 20%, and then altcoins move thereafter. So while Bitcoin consolidates, expect those moves. And it repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats until we get a final mega move to end the cycle. Bitcoin only just touched a new high the other day here for reference, with it likely going to, again, maybe $150,000 or even $250,000 this cycle. Yes.
We're over the all-time high as of right now, $72,000. I put a poll in the chat. How long have you been here? I want to know how many cycles you guys have been through. Just this your first one, you've been through one, you've been through two, or from the beginning, like obviously back before 2017 basically is the beginning to me. We'll say that.
Early. No, it's not too late to buy altcoins. Disclaimer, investing in altcoins is risky. I could be wrong. You can lose all your money. See the full risk and portfolio disclosures in the description or in the pinned comment on X for more detail.
If this is your first cycle, please be very cautious with your money. You know that crypto is super volatile. You can lose everything at a split second. Depends what you're getting into, obviously. I don't think Bitcoin's going to go to zero, right? But some altcoins, just be careful because you can get rugged like easily. But yeah, I don't know. Just take in as much information as you can. And when you hear everybody and their mother talking about it, then it's probably time to start taking profits.
Hills. But okay, so the question is, are we there yet with altcoins? Is it still really, really worthwhile to buy them?
Not even close
Do we
yet.
have any other evidence? Well, to answer that question, let us look at the charts. There are usually a few telltale signs if altcoins are actually primed to explode. So let's look here at the Wall Street cheat sheet.
This is the best chart ever, right? To kind of figure out where the hell we are in this euphoria stage. That's what I'm talking about. When everybody and their mother in the thrill stage, like in between these two, is when you really gotta think about, okay, I need to take some profits. Don't just hold your bags all the way down, and don't sell for a loss if you got in high. And like, even if it takes a couple of years, just wait. It'll get back there.
Maybe familiar with this one already, but this
with
is
Bitcoin anyways.
The psychology of a market cycle. And if you put it up against the Bitcoin chart or even the current altcoin chart, it's very interesting. For those who have been here since last cycle, you'd recognize all these emotions that are listed here on the chart, starting from the euphoria of seeing the market reach an all-time high, and of course the depression when we had the collapses with Luna and FTX and all that stuff. But guess what? We survived all that BS, and we are now...
Dude, the depression phase was real. That was awful. That was like an awful year last year.
In the initial phase of a new market cycle with a major markup period coming. Let's look at the market cap of the whole crypto space versus our cheat sheet.
About a year and a half ago.
Looks pretty familiar, doesn't it? It mirrors the psychology of a market cycle almost to a T. But why? Why? Because we're humans and trading is a mind game, and we repeat the same things over and over and over again. You really need to control your emotions in this game. And big money, they want to play on your emotions. They want you to do the wrong thing, buy high and sell low. But since we have this cheat sheet, you're not going to let them fool you again, are you? We are likely at the optimism stage right now if this cheat sheet holds to be true. Although one could, I think, make a pretty strong argument that we're even in just the hope phase right now.
I just put the link in the chat for that this Wall Street cheat sheet somebody asked.
Maybe. But anyway, then we enter the belief phase, then the thrill phase, then the ultimate top, which is the euphoria phase. So translation, we are still early enough in the cycle according to this sentiment analysis. It's not too late to buy. Another interesting way to look at this is via the ETH BTC chart, which many see as a major indicator for major altcoin season breakouts. Before we break that chart down, though, let me just break the flow real quick to let you know about the Wealth Mastery newsletter. Look, I know how it is. You got the wife, you got the kids, you got the job, you got the dog. Okay. I don't have it on airdrop.
Don't
free. Care. Thank you. So the ETH BTC
chart
gives us a clue as to where we are going here. Right now, it's in a giant falling wedge pattern, which is probably one of the most recognizable bullish patterns of the charts. We're seeing the ETH BTC forming a long falling wedge on the weekly time frame here. Just to refresh your memory, in case you're not familiar, a falling wedge pattern is a bullish chart formation that shows a narrowing range of lower highs and lower lows, indicating a weakening downtrend and a potential reversal to the upside. When, maybe we should say, we break the upper resistance line, then that opens the doors for seeing Ethereum leaving Bitcoin in the dust until, well, altcoin season is over, because when Ethereum moves, all the other altcoins move right behind it. So how long will ETH outperform Bitcoin? I honestly can't say, but look at the swing high of the ETH BTC chart that peaked around 0.085, and it will be a major resistance zone. So maybe that's a good time to get out. So by now, we all know that no one indicator or chart will tell the whole story. You got to take a holistic picture. We want to look at that bigger picture. So let's zoom out a bit more. Let's take a look at the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies, excluding Bitcoin, otherwise known as the total 2 or T2, which is used as a major indicator for altcoins taking off. Right now, it seems that we are closing in on a golden cross. A golden cross is a bullish crossover. Last time the moving average 50 and 200 formed a golden cross on the weekly was in September of 2020. And what do you notice? Well, there was a crazy parabolic move afterwards. Wild altcoin gains were made. It did not matter if it was a token with a use case or some garbage meme coin or whatever Litecoin. It all made money. Everybody was making money. Trashed on Litecoin again. Look, we're about...
What the F, man? Litecoin's awesome. What do you guys feel about Litecoin? Does anybody have holdings in Litecoin? Put it in the chat if you do. One in the chat if you do.
Have another golden cross. Will we have face-melting gains? Probably. You just close your eyes, pick a random altcoin, it's going to go up in price. That's how crazy it gets around here when things really take off. Charts would seem...
I don't really like the fact that he just said that, but I mean, there is... You guys, like, if you're gonna yeet into something without knowing anything about it, just make sure you have a set price of where you're gonna get out. Don't just hold it till the cows come home. Do you know what I mean?
To indicate that in this case, yes, it is not too late again to buy altcoins. Let's now take a look at a few examples so you understand just how crazy things can get and did previously get, so you understand that you're probably not being bullish enough on how crazy a cycle will go. Let us start with the original dog, the meme coin Doge. Last time the total 2 had a weekly golden cross was in September 2020, as previously mentioned. What happened to Doge in that situation? Well, it had a massive run. How massive? Well, it gained around, wait for it, 29,000%. Are we going to see a 290x return again for Dogecoin? Can we all finally escape our 9-to-5 slave jobs? Just
what do you guys think about Dogecoin, actually? I was thinking about this too, looking at like how much more Dogecoin's in the market from when it was in 2021, because hitting 73 cents, looking at the market cap of Dogecoin, that's one of the things I always like take a peek at. It's like 25 billion, right? Yeah, $25 billion. How much higher can this one go? Like looking at, say, I don't know, Tether, right? It's 102 billion, right? We got Ethereum at $486 billion. We have 1.4 trillion on Bitcoin. How high can Dogecoin really go? Do you think it's going to get to 100 billion? I don't know. Right? Because that it would need to get, would it need to get there to have a 4x? Is that how that works? Let me know. Weird, right? Where the hell were we? Not this one. Oh, yeah, that's right. I had to open it again.
On the Doge. Well, I hate to burst your bubble. Probably not. Why? Well, because of market cap. Doge now has a 20 billion.
Well, it's funny they said, I haven't watched this video yet, but that's exactly what I was thinking when I'm looking at Dogecoin. Like I was previous all-time high in the bear market. I was like, oh, you know what? Like this thing can get to $1, but then looking at the overall market cap, like how is it possible to get to $1
billion market cap? So if the value rises by 290x, then we are looking at a total valuation for Dogecoin around $5.8 trillion. That's like 2 apples. Is that worth 2 apples? Probably not. That's a crazy amount of money.
See, that's why I think it might not get there. But even 50 cents or whatever, that's still a decent run up, right?
Let's look at some more sustainable numbers. For one, there's a high possibility that the previous high of 73 cents will get tested and taken out. We can also draw a Fibonacci line from high cycle high down to the cycle low, and we'll see that the 1.68 level is above $1, maybe $1.16, which is around 10 or 11x. That's a conservative estimate. That would take the market cap to maybe more than $200 billion, though, which is still a big damn move. Again, we're just looking at possibilities here, by the way, but it could even go higher than that. Now let's talk about Solana. This is one of the big breakouts from the last market cycle. After this started.
What about Solana? Who's got Solana here? You know, Fully Electric just said Solana is getting close to a major bag status. Yeah, I need to invest a little bit more into Solana. I think Solana might get to five or 1,000, depending on where it's going to go. But I mean, it's still, what's the market cap on that? Where are we at there? Solana is looking like 65 billion already. It's crazy. These markets are freaking insane. Absolutely insane.
2020 T2 Golden Cross, Solana ran more than 10,000% or 100x.
So freaking mad I didn't take my own advice when I told you guys to buy it at freaking 29 bucks. It's like, this is such a good buy. I should totally buy it. I never did. You guys did. Lucked out.
Of course, it did not explode right away. It dipped a bit after the cross before it mooned to more than $260. For this bull run, expect a probable retest of that $260 high. We're not even that far away at this point. The 1.618 fib level is probably our base case, which is at around $430. And if we get a really, really wild run, then 4.236 Fibonacci line taps out at $1,110.
Actually, I think it was 19 bucks. If I'm not mistaken. 100 Air said he bought it at 10, dude. Good for you. That's awesome.
10x from
Dan R took my advice at 1982. Dude, you know what? That's what it was. It was 19 bucks. I knew it was a 9. So it was 19 bucks. Man, I wish I freaking jumped on that. Stupid.
The current prices, or 100x said he bought it 10 bucks.
I said it.
That's crazy.
I didn't do it.
Again, nobody has a crystal ball. We're just looking at possibilities. So once again, if this golden cross plays out anything like the last time, and it may not, but then in that case, if it does, it's not too late to buy altcoins. And keep in mind, too, that we have major liquidity factors like the pending Ethereum ETFs coming up, according to Standard Chartered Bank. This could be approved before May ends. Currently, the final deadline for SEC approval is May 23rd, by the way.
No way. They're going to stretch that out as long as they can. Before May, you think the ETF's going to come out? I doubt it.
Happened to Bitcoin after the approval. We knew it was going to go higher, but everybody, I think, was a bit caught off guard by just how fast it moved to the 60K levels and tapped those new highs. Ethereum ETFs will bring huge liquidity into altcoins. And once Ethereum goes parabolic, other large cap altcoins are going to follow suit.
Facts.
And then, you know, you've got your Solana and your Ripple and BNB and Cardano and AVAX all melting faces. You can buy a new face with all the money that you're going to make. Then those mid cap coins start going. Then those low cap coins start going. Then the NFTs start going. And Jimmy Kimmel's talking about on the night shows, and you got to sell. The ultimate peak of the altcoin season. You got your dog coins popping off, your frog coins popping off, your cock coins popping off. I don't care what animal your meme coin is. It's going to go crazy. Everything starts coming out of the woodwork. And some of those coins are going to give you 100x gains. Euphoria will be in the air. It'll seem like money is just falling from the sky and everyone's a genius. You're a genius. You're getting rich. Life-changing money is flooding the space. It's crazy. And then it all goes to shit. And if you don't sell, you're going to lose 99% of your money.
And he's not wrong, because it will go to shit and it will go fast, and you guys need to be prepared for that. So if you're going to you guys got to remember, right? If you get to a point where you're like, okay, I made a shit ton of money on this. It's already up like, I don't know, 5x, 10x, whatever. And things are going in a place where everybody's talking about stuff, like take gains. Even if it goes up a little bit more, it's not a big deal. You still made money. All right. Like, be happy that you're in and you got out. And then you could watch it fall back down and you can laugh at everybody else. You know what I mean? Because it's going to happen. Happens every single cycle. So just fair warning. All right. Altcoins about to explode. 250K Bitcoin price. Let's see what Altcoin Daily's got to say over here. I haven't watched any of these videos. Guys, that like button. We have 97 likes, 269 people here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining.
We are months away, maybe weeks, maybe days, from a huge altcoin rally. Let me tell you why. First of all, it's important to keep our expectations in check. You've probably been seeing some very high Bitcoin price predictions, like $500,000 Bitcoin this cycle.
Yeah, that's
just
crazy.
In a sentence, Bitcoin clears at least this price this cycle. What do you think?
$500,000 at least.
This cycle?
Yes, of course.
That guy's voice caught me off guard hard.
So and this is kind of, I'm glad you asked me that, because gold has been the reserve currency for thousands of years. We are seeing in our lifetime, gold being displaced by a more superior version. This is unbelievable. And it's all the numbers, all the data is out there to suggest that we're right. The ETF flows have been unbelievable. Gold is flowing out and Bitcoin's flowing up, and we know it's better. This is going to be the first domino.
Or $1 million Bitcoin way before 2030.
So what's your timeline for 1 million USD Bitcoin now? And is there perhaps a price target beyond that now?
Real quick, before she says anything, I'm going to kill this poll in the chat, and I'm going to start a new one. I want to know when you guys would sell your Bitcoin. Like, what's the price target? I'm just going to put like, I don't know, 150,000, 250,000, 500, and a million, I think, and I'll let you guys decide, because it's gonna be a tough sell. I feel like for me, when it gets to that euphoria point, even though I know it's like, okay, I got to get this out of there, but at the same time, like, there's not enough Bitcoin in the world to go around, and it makes me nervous to even sell any of it. Right? Just my Bitcoin. All coins, I don't give a shit. I'll dump them all. But I'm saying, like, Bitcoin, that's the main thing, right? So let's let me throw that poll up. You guys listen to this.
Yes, our target is above that. We've got a 2030 target, so it's well above that. And with our new expectations for institutional involvement, the incremental price that we assume for institutions actually has more than doubled.
Is this possible? Of course, this is very possible. Is this likely? I don't know. However, 250,000 this cycle, I think, is even more possible, even more likely. And in fact, this is what Glassnode's lead on-chain analyst thinks. Listen.
But you've got to give us a price prediction. We need a quote.
I think we crack 250K. I would be very surprised if we don't crack 250K this cycle. I do think that the last cycle was truncated because of GBTC. I think we went up too far, too fast. The structure I'm seeing in this uptrend is very, very robust. The buy side that happened under 30K, and actually I think this is probably a good closing point for me. The hodlers pulled back this slingshot, right? The ETFs just let it fly because the coins got soaked up in 2023 before these guys showed up. This is just that marginal bid looking for those coins, which is why your price goes up so quickly. But the hodlers did all the work below that. And as a result, we've got a very, very strong holder base, and we're just not yet seeing them sell. And I think after the pain of 2022, I know for me, I'm not selling at 60K. No way. I need a much higher price for the pain you put me through, Mr. World, in 2022.
Do you think?
Real quick, little man in the chat said, I can pay off my house 250K, so that's my number. You know what? I was actually reading something, or I was listening to something, I forget about this. I was working in the studio. I think I was listening to it, and somebody said it was like a video saying like how stupid it is to actually pay off your house, and it actually made a lot of sense. You're better off putting the money in some sort of I don't know, some sort of like use the money in a different way to earn you money and to just pay the house as normal. So it's, I don't know, there's a bunch of different options, and maybe that's like a video for another day to kind of get into and talk about. But Yeah, I agree. I want to be financially free and so pay off the house and all, like any debt that you may have, right? That's kind of everybody's goal. But at the end of the day, you gotta understand what makes the most sense for you, and like just think all options. You know what I mean?
Think this is possible? Do you think this is likely? Most people do not realize what's going on here. The demand shock that we've been seeing because of these Bitcoin ETFs, it's a lot like the supply shock that happens every 4 years with the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin ETF equals demand shock. Bitcoin halving equals supply shock. You do the math.
To me, the most amazing part of this is that if we look at the average net inflows, so since the launch of the ETF approval, we can see that we added about 3.9K BTC per day. So that is the demand from these ETFs currently. And this is really significant. If we think of the fourth halving, where we'll go actually from a supply issuance from 900 coins a day to 450 coins a day, the 4,000 coins a day of demand, that is actually comparable to the first halving. So actually what we're seeing is the ETF is functioning of similar magnitude to the first halving. So we're actually having a first halving and the fourth halving in a time span of less than 4 months. And I think, yeah, people are underestimating the impact of this. We have made an all-time high within 2 months of this first halving, let's say, the ETF approval. Now, it's not literally a first halving because obviously the ETF, it's a demand shock rather than a supply shock. So we have a demand shock, but this demand shock by the ETFs causes a supply crunch, right? And so it's in a way very similar.
Subscribe to our channel.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting a supply shock real soon. So that's like, you know, it's just one catalyst onto another, and it's it's gonna be nuts. Let's
We've been giving you alpha like this from rock bottom prices. When other experts were going on the biggest podcasts in the world saying this, we told you what was really going on.
There's no intrinsic value to this asset.
There we go.
Now it's starting to be priced appropriately. So it has a, there we go. What's Bitcoin at? 16,000? It has another 17,000 to go down.
Eat shit, Gary.
Duh. Really? Yeah. There's no intrinsic value.
See this guy right here? Stay broke, buddy.
Eat shit, Gary.
To this product.
Yeah, guys, yeah.
What
definitely
a
want to
loser.
hit subscribe. You definitely want to join the Altcoin Daily Army. We literally keep you up to date on everything
lead a
going
horse
on in
to
crypto
water.
on a daily basis.
Can't make him drink.
By the time you hear about it on Joe Rogan, it's probably going to be near the top. So
no one knows who that guy is. That's the biggest thing. Shakester. He said, "Who's that guy?" Nobody knows who he is. Who cares?
Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins. Things are about to get real crazy. Let me tell you why. First of all, Larry Fink, BlackRock, regularly runs TV ads promoting Bitcoin, crypto. Larry Fink regularly makes guest appearances arguing for Bitcoin and crypto. Don't forget, he wants to tokenize the world.
There's a lot of merit to it.
He wants to go out with a bang. He wants to make sure that his legacy is left behind. And that is, I think, his sole purpose behind this whole ETF thing.
There's a lot of opportunity. It is a great store, and this is where you can debate. Is it a good store?
But you know how it's made. A bunch of computers figure out
But but the issue is if people believe that it can be an asset that can be cross-border. Right. And let's be clear, if you're in a country where you're fearful of your government, and maybe this is one of the reasons why China has banned it. Mm-hmm. If you're in a country where you're fearful of your future, fearful of your government, or you're frightened that your government is devaluing its currency by too much deficits.
Like us.
I'm not going to go there.
The little elephant in the room here.
Yeah.
That's because he's in bed with the big guys. He doesn't want to mention it. But that's why he's in it.
You could say this is a great potential long-term store of value. And as I said, it's like digital gold. And I believe...
But you still can't buy a slice of pizza with it. Isn't that kind of odd that we're...
But you can't buy a price of pizza with palladium.
Who's going to the friggin' buy a slice of pizza with a gold bar? What?
Or gold.
No, but then you can do stuff with them. I can get stuff with... I mean, people use gold for stuff, right?
But you can buy and sell your Bitcoin. No different than gold. So it is very...
What is it? But gold is put in like...
Jewelry.
And you know, iPhones, I think there's in some electronics, there's
it's
gold.
more silver.
Yeah, you can hold Bitcoin in your phone, kind of.
But you see what I'm saying? It's there are practical uses. Bitcoin, it's literally a ledger. Right?
It is a ledger, but it's a international
that has never
ledger.
had any issues or flaws since the inception.
It's cross-border. It's bigger than any government.
I agree with you.
So, with the Ethereum ETF on the horizon, Coinbase, Grayscale, the applicants meeting with the SEC over this, with, in fact, Ethereum's biggest upgrade since the merge happening this week, there's so much opportunity in altcoins. I've made a few top altcoin videos in the past few months. Definitely check these out. And again, make sure you subscribe. This is a continued conversation. But let me tell you why. Altcoins are about to make a lot of people rich. As far as the altcoin market goes, you are still quite early. Why?
You know what? I want to know in the chat. If you don't want to say it, you don't have to. But what is your biggest altcoin bag? Just put the coin in the chat. Don't write the amount. Right? Just what is the coin that you're most into on your altcoin portfolio? Just one. Just put one in there.
Purely because Bitcoin dominance is still very high. This means that the altcoin market hasn't even started the mania phase yet. The mania phase begins when Bitcoin dominance starts to drop sharply. This occurs when market participants are willing to take on more risk and liquidity moves into altcoins from Bitcoin, stablecoins, and fiat. This increases the market caps of altcoins, thus reducing Bitcoin dominance. By the way,
we got a lot of Caspa, we got Solana, ETC, got your Flux. Okay, Raven. Wow, interesting. Raven. Moonwell. What the hell's Moonwell? I've never even heard of that. Moonwell. I have never heard of that. Omni. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, Caspa, ETH, Digibyte. Nice. XLM. Okay. Interesting. Matic. That's nice. It's nice to see what coins you guys are into. Shiba. Okay. Zill, Honey, LTC, Nervos. Nice. Ravencoin Light. Shut up, Dan. Are you just trolling now?
Doesn't mean that Bitcoin's price just drops. Quite the contrary. As Bitcoin will continue its own mania phase to the upside, what it means is, as dominance falls and liquidity flows into alts, the market is willing to take on more risk. Hence the reason why Bitcoin dominance is always very low at the peak of every bull market or the end of any mania phase. We are very close to the beginning of a big alt season and indeed the mania phase. Going to be sharing with you some more alt.
All right, he's just going to be chilling the rest of the time. Let's see. We got one more video over here. Buying Bitcoin today will change your life. Let's see what he's got to say over here. Again, I haven't seen this video, so guys, that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. Let's do it.
I talked to a lot of Bitcoin traders and folks that seem to have a very good pulse and touch on this market. I don't say that I do because I don't really look at it every day. But they seem to think that this thing is on a death march to 100K.
Bitcoin death march to 100K. What do you guys think? Look at this. Still holding over 72,465. When does the market open? It just opened, didn't it? Ooh, we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to continue to go up or we're going to go down. You guys let me know what you think.
Just hit $70,000 for the first time ever.
Crazy.
We're going to get to a tipping point where everybody really talks about this.
We are now consolidating near all-time highs.
I still don't think we're there yet. I think we're just at the beginning. But when you see the inflows into these ETFs, check out, it's like a very big deal.
And Bitcoin's demand right now is undeniable.
Bitcoin is just driven by supply and demand. There's only going to be 21 million of them. The more people that buy and the fewer people that sell, that means the price is going to go up. That's just the nature of it. It's a great store of value. That's why I have an investment in it, because I do feel that the demand is going to exceed the number of people selling.
And the rising tide of Bitcoin tends to raise all ships, like now.
The other thing I'll say is that it's not just Bitcoin, but as goes Bitcoin, there are a handful of other things. People are now speculating that there's going to be an Ethereum ETF.
Even altcoin founders, like Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson, admits the time is now.
So another thing which I think will benefit the Cardano ecosystem as a whole is the effort to get Cardano native assets listed on exchanges. The time has come for that. And one of the things we're going to try to do with the foundation is work with the community and intersect.
Is anybody into Cardano? What's Cardano at right now? ADA Cardano is at 73 cents at a $26 billion market cap.
To get a coalition together and just go and cram it down the throats of the exchanges and say, come on, guys, stop fucking
Now the Bitcoin ETFs today now have over $50 billion in assets under management.
This is really unprecedented, Shanali, to see this much money poured into new ETFs. The ETF industry has really never seen 10 funds launch all at the same time with an identical strategy. And it hasn't even been 3 months, and we're already seeing about $9.4 billion of net inflows.
Heavily respected.
Crazy. Real quick, look at this. So this site's actually amazing. I was watching it. So it opened up, right? It says open now, and everything, all the numbers are obviously starting to move. And man, like these prices just continuously just go up in this market. It's unreal. These are the ETFs, by the way. Bitcoin ETF overview. Again, coinglass.com is actually, that's pretty awesome. Shout out to Crypto Frank and my man Fully Electric.
Investor Rick Edelman is anticipating $150 billion of net inflows. This is from about a week and a half ago.
I'm anticipating that by the time we get to the end of 2025, we're talking 2 years, we're going to see total inflows of more than $150 billion. We're only at 5 right now.
What is going to
150 and we're only at 5.
propel? That's a big claim. That's a big number. What's going to propel that?
It really isn't all that big when you do the simple arithmetic. Individual investment advisors, independents, those that are operating their own firms, collectively manage around $8 trillion in assets, and 3/4 of them in every industry survey done by DAC-FP as well as by Bitwise all show that 3/4 of advisors say that they're going to allocate to these ETFs and that their average allocation is going to be about 2.5% of assets. Do the arithmetic. $8 trillion times 77% times 2.5% is $150 billion worth of flows. And that's just independent advisors. It excludes the wirehouses, it excludes the regional broker-dealers, it excludes the institutional investors.
And these are the conversations happening all over the country, in boardrooms, family offices, kitchen tables.
I think this is the All In podcast, if you guys are interested, if I'm not mistaken.
Speaking about why Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, Friedberg, is incredibly resilient, just on a technological basis. The fact that it hasn't broken down under stress, it hasn't had, a denial of service type of attack, or a government hasn't been able to capture 51% of the mining or some great amount of it, or just even be hacked in any way. You have to be impressed by the fundamental technology here, Friedberg. Maybe you could speak to that level of success, that this thing is so stable and trustworthy and reliable to date.
And
real quick, guys, Zarkov in the chat said, if 1% of the 401k and IRA bonds and gold gets allocated towards BTC price, it will be 120k. Dan R said, for Sol to flip BNB, Solana's price would be $181, and to catch to ETH, Solana would have to be $1,098. Interesting.
Looking at the latest data on chain from Glassnode, as we stand today, the Bitcoin short-term holder cost basis is just under $50,000. And that means, putting it differently, on average, investors that bought Bitcoin within the last 5-ish months are up around 37.5% on their investment.
Killing it.
When looking at the current price, $68,000. And they'll always be profit taking, meaning if the average cost basis for new buyers in the last 5-ish months is around here, low $50,000, yes, they'll be profit taking. That's why we're seeing that bullish consolidation. But more and more institutional investors are realizing Bitcoin is the only asset where supply is unaffected by demand.
So Bitcoin is the only economic entity where supply is unaffected by the demand. So even with gold, if gold, which is $1,800 today, if gold goes to $18,000, there will be a lot more gold mined because mines that are unprofitable will become profitable. Only 21 million Bitcoin can ever be created or close to it. It doesn't matter if
we've probably lost 5 to 7 million from old hard drives, old computers. People didn't save their seed phrases, things like that.
Bitcoin is 100,000 or 20 million. There's only going to be that many of them. All you have to really believe is that the demand for Bitcoin will grow faster than 1.5%, over the next number of years, and the price inexorably will go up.
Now, those who subscribe to Altcoin Daily have been ready for this. We've literally been sharing with you the potential of crypto for years. But ever since BlackRock announced mid last year that they were jumping in, the price of Bitcoin has ran up so far, so fast. Most investors still haven't bought yet, or are at least under allocated still. And again, looking at the data, I think we're gearing up for an epic bull market in Bitcoin, just like in the most aggressive cycles in the past, 2012, 2015, we are seeing very minimal price drawdowns. In other words, supply is low and dips are getting bought aggressively.
When will Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions admit they were wrong on Bitcoin?
And the Dave Ramsey Show, which boasts over 18 million combined weekly listeners, are walking things back a little.
I don't think this is a right or wrong thing, and our stance on crypto and Bitcoin has not changed, and it's not out of sheer grit. It's that we were never angry at Bitcoin. The problem is people cashed out their retirement accounts betting on a coin. And if you ask anyone who actually knows about cryptocurrency, they'll tell you, oh, it's not an investment, it's speculation. This is speculating, this is betting. It's not that dissimilar to gambling in Vegas.
And there's been many segments on crypto over the years, but this all started back in February of 2014, where don't you wish back in 2014 somebody actually took the time to educate you on Bitcoin.
And I know intelligent people who, while they're intelligent, are not wise, that have put a bunch of money in Bitcoin.
Oh, this guy.
But it's a really good way to turn $1 million into nothing.
So says the skeptics, right? And he's actually, Dave Ramsey gives decent financial advice when anything other than Bitcoin, I guess.
Play in unstable currencies that they're, and here's what you have. Let me tell you what Bitcoin
He is kind of like I don't know. Take it as you will.
is. It's WWW. It's the wild, wild west. You're back to the Western banking system. Because all of a sudden, one of these computer nerds just flips a switch. The whole freaking thing's gone.
And I like Dave Ramsey. He puts a great fundamental financial education for the masses. But don't confuse Bitcoin.
Yeah, he might be Warren's husband. I'm not sure.
On the speculative altcoin game. Most altcoins are like gambling. But owning 0 Bitcoin is a mistake. Be sure to click.
I think he's right there, for sure. Definitely right there. Oh God, yep. All right, I knew it was going to be a shill. Anyways, let me see if they did anything else on CNBC television. They usually like to talk about Bitcoin, but former President Donald Trump. Let's see. Nothing about Bitcoin that pops out at me. I don't think. All right, let's get into the recap of stuff then, I guess. Let's see what Bitcoin's looking like as of now. $72,292. Gosh damn, that's crazy. We have Ethereum at $4,066. Solana's at 148. Man, things are going crazy. Absolutely crazy. Again, what do you guys think? I put a poll in the chat, actually. What did I say? Pull back after the Bitcoin halving. What do you guys think? Are we gonna head to halving and then have a pullback, or are we gonna see it a continuous grind up? We have, as of right now, we have 54% of you say yes, we're going to see a pullback. 22 or 23% now say no, and not sure say 24. I'm on the not sure side. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. I don't know. This time is so much different, to be honest. It really is. But we're already at a $1.4 trillion market cap for Bitcoin. That's wild. Again, Shiba, this meme coin that does nothing, has a $20 billion market cap. Like this, the market is just unreal. It is unreal. Let me just refresh it. That's at 19.6 now, and this one's Dogecoin's at 24.9. It's just crazy. It's crazy to see how these prices are just going to skyrocket. I think Ethereum's going to get $5,000 to $10,000 easy, to be honest, in my opinion. And I think stupid money is going to pump ETC. I'm calling that. I think that's going to happen because personally, I've explained it to you guys before. When I first got into this, I didn't know anything about Coinbase when I just signed up for an account. And I'm looking at everything. I'm like, why is Bitcoin so much money? Like it was $3,000, $3,500. So stupid. Wish I bought it, but whatever. I didn't know. I did my research, right? Just tried to figure out what the hell it was. And then Ethereum, it was like $300, $200. I don't even know. It was low though. And then I saw Ethereum Classic and I'm like, shit, this one's only like $4. I could buy a bunch of these, right? So I just bought a bunch of Ethereum Classic. I'm like, what the hell's the difference? I don't know. You know what I mean? New people aren't going to understand that. They're just going to want to buy the most coin versus just the fraction of a coin when they can get something else. I don't know. It's That's just how dumb money is. And I'm not trying to call people dumb, but it's like uneducated people don't really get it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I personally think ETC is going to have a crazy run as well once Ethereum starts to pump and the altcoins start to move, obviously. Let's see. Fully Electric said, just like BTC and Bitcoin Gold. Dude, exactly. Same thing. What's Bitcoin Gold looking like? Where is it even at on the chart? Let's see. Bitcoin Gold. Where are we? Right here. Bitcoin Gold's been on a run up too. 54 bucks as of right now. So it's ranked 123. So it's not even in the top 100. Interesting. It's not even at $1 million market cap, huh? Fully diluted is, I guess, but wow, weird. Let's see, 7 days. Actually, let's go to the year. Wow, yeah, see, it's had a run up. Fully Electric. This is the perfect comparison. Oh my god, look at it. See, like, I would never invest in something like this. This is a stupid freaking buy. This is stupid. This is dumb money 1000%. Okay, 2017 Bitcoin Gold comes out. Is that the beginning? November 7th? I don't even know if that's when it actually came out, but I mean November 17th rather. Yeah, 2017, the bull run. It was $300 something. But now looking at it, right, Bitcoin's starting to run. It's a perfect example just because of the word Bitcoin. Right, if you can compare this to Ethereum with Ethereum Classic, right, that, like, the same shit's gonna happen. It has the narrative in the name is in it, right? Bitcoin, people are like, oh shit, this must mean something, right? They don't really know what the hell they're talking about, but this is what people are gonna get into because it's cheap and it's easier and they can afford 50 bucks. You know what I mean? I don't know, is Coinbase down yet? Let me know. Let me check, see if we can see if I can even sell anything. Let's see. I put a buy order in for $1,000 in ETC at $35. So let's see if it goes there. Let's see. No, it doesn't look down. Not yet. As of now. I don't know. Bitcoin Gold. Yeah, that's, again, it's just a narrative. It's kind of like anything with an AI after it. You know what I mean? Like, all the AI coins are going to do well because of just the name. Realistically, I mean, some of them, yeah, have utility, but just the name, the AI is gonna make things push, make things pump, right? Everything's looking crazy though, guys. Absolutely insane. Anyways, listen, I love you all. I gotta get out of here though. I'm gonna end this poll. So we ended it off with 48% of you guys said yes, we're gonna have a pullback after the halving. 26% said not sure, and then no said 25%. So that's pretty interesting to see what your guys' thoughts are. All right, I gotta get out of here. I hope you guys have a great and happy, safe Monday. Enjoy your day at work. I know it sucks. The daily grind sucks, but we all got to do it. We're gonna raid you over to Miss Randy Hipper as of right now. You guys have a good day, and I will catch you guys tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let's give a soft clap for Bitcoin before we get out of here. New all-time high. Let's get it, guys. Peace out. Have a good day. Peace.